The moment the bully shoved the single father to the ground in front of the CEO, the entire cafe froze. A glass slipped from someone's hand, conversation stopped mid-sentence, and every eye turned toward the man sitting on the floor, holding his little daughter's drawing like it was more valuable than his own dignity. Nobody expected what happened next. Because the quiet man everyone ignored was about to reveal a strength no one in that cafe had ever seen. Before we begin this emotional journey, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of a good heart, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel Heart Kindness Tales. The morning had started like any other difficult day for Arlen Voss. He woke up before sunrise in the small apartment he shared with his 8-year-old daughter, Mira. The old alarm clock beside his bed had stopped working months ago, but Arlen still woke up at the same time every day because life had trained him to. He quietly walked into the kitchen, careful not to wake Mira, and prepared a simple breakfast. There wasn't much in the fridge, but he managed to make something warm. A piece of toast, a little fruit, and the last of the milk. He smiled when he saw a small note on the table written in Mira's careful handwriting. "Dad, you're the strongest person I know." Arlen stared at those words for a long moment. People often saw him as a tired man working too many hours, wearing the same few shirts, and counting every dollar before spending it. They didn't see the nights he stayed awake worrying about bills. They didn't see how he skipped meals so his daughter could have enough. They didn't see the pain of losing his wife years earlier and trying to become both a father and a mother to a child who still missed her. But Arlen never complained. To Mira, he wasn't struggling. He was her hero. That day, Arlen had promised Mira he would take her to the cafe after school because she wanted to finish a drawing project. She had been working on a picture of the kindest person in the world, and Arlen wanted to see it finished. After dropping her off at school, he went to his part-time job at a nearby office building. He worked as a maintenance assistant, fixing broken equipment and cleaning after everyone else left. The work was honest, but it barely covered their needs. Still, Arlen carried himself with quiet pride. That afternoon, after picking up Mira, they walked into a beautiful cafe downtown. It was a place Arlen rarely visited because it was expensive, but Mira had smiled so brightly when she asked that he couldn't say no. The cafe was elegant, filled with warm lights, soft music, and people dressed in expensive clothes. Arlen noticed immediately that he didn't belong there. His jacket was old. His shoes had been repaired twice. But Mira held his hand proudly as they walked inside. "Dad, look," she whispered excitedly. "The lights look like stars." Arlen smiled. "Not as bright as your smile." They found a small table near the window. Mira opened her notebook and started drawing while Arlen ordered the cheapest items on the menu. For a few minutes, everything felt peaceful. Then a group of businessmen entered. Among them was a young man named Kellen Rourke, the son of a wealthy investor. Kellen was known for his arrogance. He walked through life believing money gave him permission to treat people however he wanted. Behind him was a woman everyone recognized. Celine Marlowe, the CEO of a major company that was known for helping small businesses and supporting community projects. Celine had entered the cafe for a private meeting, unaware that a moment inside would change how she saw people forever. Kellen noticed Arlen and Mira immediately. His eyes moved from Arlen's worn jacket to the simple food on the table, and a cruel smile appeared on his face. He walked over. "Interesting," Kellen said loudly. "This place keeps lowering its standards." The nearby customers looked uncomfortable. Arlen looked up calmly. "Excuse me?" Kellen laughed. "I'm just saying some places are meant for certain people." Mira stopped drawing. She looked at her father, confused. Arlen didn't want trouble. He had learned that pride sometimes meant walking away. "We're just having lunch," Arlen said quietly. "There's no problem." Kellen leaned closer. "That's exactly the problem. People like you come here and pretend you belong. The words hurt more than Arlen showed. Not because they were about him. Because his daughter was hearing them. Arlen gently closed Myra's notebook. Come on, sweetheart. Let's go. As he stood up, Kellen stepped in front of him. You're leaving already? Arlen tried to move around him. But Kellen suddenly pushed him. Hard. Everything happened in seconds. Arlen lost his balance and fell backward. The cafe went completely silent. Mira screamed. Dad! The drawing in Arlen's hand fell to the floor. He didn't care about himself. His first instinct was reaching for his daughter, making sure she wasn't scared. That was when Celine Marlowe stood up. She had watched everything. And she was no longer quiet. She walked toward them slowly, her expression serious. Did you just do that? She asked Kellen. Kellen turned around and smiled. Celine, don't misunderstand. It was just a little push. The CEO looked at Arlen, then at Myra's frightened face. No, she said. It wasn't. The cafe remained silent. Celine helped Arlen stand. Are you okay? Arlen nodded, even though his pride was wounded. I'm fine. But Celine noticed